Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back once again with a review from the Takara series, Shinkalion Z. If you remember, we've taken a look at some of these figures before. This was Takara's kid-friendly animation line for the past year or so. It's based on trains, very popular in Japan. This one in particular is called the Alpha X. And what's really cool is this train is an experimental train that they use to test new technologies, new features on before rolling them out on the main line. And I've actually seen like a real life photo, and it looks pretty much exactly like this, the same color scheme and everything. So they really like their trains in Japan. I mean, Shinkalion Z was a hugely popular line in Japan. The toys sold well. I mean, there was puzzles, there were games, there were puzzle games. I saw at least two boxes of collector cards. One of them was like magnets. And if I mentioned in another review, there was bath salts, and model kits, and it's a long running franchise now. This is actually, I do believe, as of right now, the last figure released in the line. Obviously, there's a couple we haven't taken a look at that I hope to get to. I know these aren't that popular, but I do them for me. So yeah, same basic concept as we've seen in the other videos. This is the front train, the cab. This will make up the torso, head, and arms. Upper torso, head, and arms. This back section here will make up the legs. Actually, all of the legs, the feet, the knees, the torso. There's a little framework. And then this midsection, usually it's what houses the weapons. On this case, though, as you can see, the weapons are actually pegged into the outside. There is something pegged inside, but we'll get to that a little bit later. This does not come with a Z liner, which, if you remember, were the add-on kits that would either replace the arms or the legs, or in some kits, arms and legs, for a power-up. So this is a great introduction because it's a little bit cheaper, and it basically opens the door that you can get any of the add-on kits that you want. So we're going to pause, and we'll come back and get into the transformation. Okay, to save some time, I went ahead and removed the little casters that allow the train to roll, as well as the weapons and accessories in that middle cab, which we're not going to need right now. If you're interested more about like what those do and how they come off and go on, check out one of my earlier reviews. Start things off, we're going to come into the front cab here. We're going to separate it just like so. We'll deal with this front piece. First, what you want to do is get your thumb in here, flip up this cockpit section. If you've seen the other reviews, it's going to transform exactly the same way. Double hinge that down, and it'll friction snap into place. Come in the top here, bring up the head. At the same time, you want to bring in the torso. That will help secure the head into place. There's the head. I'm pretty sure this is a unique mold for the head. Really like the coloring there. See if you can get some of the green, the turquoise eyes. There you go. So yeah, so there's that. This section, these will form the arms. So separate it like that. Accordion them up and back like so. Push that side panel back, rotate this out to the side, and what you want to do is flip up the shell section until it snaps into place with that joint, and then you can just peg that in. Again, the arms, the legs, torsos, they're all interchangeable with other kits. That's part of the gimmick to the Shinkalion line. I mean, I've seen some pretty weird out there combinations. Use one arm from one kit, a leg from another kit, some of the add-on pieces and stuff. But right there, we have the arms all set up and done. Single jointed elbows, but you get a nice deep bend. Rotation at the fists, bicep swivel, and you have an armpit joint. Still, again, I think this generic framework is all basically the same. So to be at this point and still have, tight joints, that's really cool. So to move on, we're going to work on the legs and the torso, and this is where things get a little bit different. So first thing what you want to do is go ahead and separate this back section from this front section, and then what you're going to do now is split this front section like so, and this right here if you've seen one of my Shinkalion reviews, this should look familiar. This is the torso, hips, knees. This is basically the main body part. Again, flip up this section, it'll snap into place. Again, universal across all the figures that I've seen thus far. So, and then this will just peg right in underneath there. Figure does have waist articulation. So we're going to split these panels, and we're going to go and start forming the lower legs and feet. Double hinge that side panel up, accordion this panel out and down. Now, in other Shinkalions, we would basically go and peg these panels in. No, we're going to do something different with them. So come around the back here, unpeg the foot from the back. That will snap into this section, which is the heel. Bring it down. That will snap into place, and you have one leg done. You can then go and snap that into the lower leg. And oh boy, we're getting a little tall here. Let's see if I could zoom out a little. Alrighty. Gonna have to adjust the camera up a little. There we go. I'm actually going to have to adjust that even further when you see what's going to happen next. But let's quickly just go ahead and do this side. Down. Out. And down. The detailing you see here, here in the forearms, those are all stickers. So there is some stickering involved. So let's go ahead and slide that in. Alrighty. And here we have the Shinkalion Alpha X done up. That's also stickers on the feet. You got your ankle pivot, double ratcheted knee bend, just like so. Ratchets in the hip. So now you might be thinking this looks a little bare. And well, it does. So first thing we're going to do is come in with this piece right here. This is one of the bonus pieces. Now, I think I've seen this in other kits, that it's a special combiner piece that helps get everything together. And what you want to do now is, holding it with these two tabs facing up, you want to grab what were the front panels from the leg section, and yeah, there is a little bit of a stress mark already, but they're going to peg in here on a bit of an angle, and you're going to have like a little flared collar piece, just like so. And what's cool is it's now going to peg in to those two ports on the back where the arms would peg in for the train mode. And you will just snap that in. Let's make sure it does get a little back heavy, so you want to make sure but the joints can hold it up. And there we go. That's step one. They look a little crooked, so there we go. I would have wished there was like a fixed point or something that would help hold it in place. But now for the weapons, because there are weapons, you have these little soft translucent plastic daggers that are going to peg on the posts on the outside of the forearms. You then have this piece, which is another connector piece that's going to come into play a little bit later on. And then you have this piece that was holding the swords in train mode. And what you'll do is you'll peg the top piece into the bottom piece, just like so. You can see right here, there's a little, like a closed blaster barrel or something. And that will form a blaster that the figure can hold. Very nice, kind of cool. Again, this is something that's been done with other sets in terms of giving you that, like, making a blaster out of some extra parts. And then finally, we have this really cool sword. This is translucent plastic, but it's a little bit thicker and harder than the daggers, so it's not as prone to bending. And that will just peg into the hand right there. And here you have your Shinkalion Alpha X already ready to roll. There we go. And this is basically its base form. Armored up, weaponed up, ready to rock and roll. But wait, there's more. As I've been mentioning, these figures are modular, meaning that they can combine with other sets, and there's other forms that you can make. Now, I'm not going to show you everything that can be done, because to be honest, that would involve pulling out parts from a bunch of other kits and time constraints, and if I'm being honest, also lack of interest in the other reviews. I'm only going to really show one, and the one actually uses the first Shinkalion we've looked at, the E5, which all we're going to need for that is the torso section and the arm section, so the front train cap. So let me get things a little set up for that, and we'll come back and I'll show you how to make it. Okay, so what I've done is I've removed the torso section, transformed it back into the front of the train, replaced it with the E5 torso, and stripped all the weapon parts down because we're going to be rearranging them. I also opened up the middle train section here. Those are stickers too, because inside, pegged into the roof, was this special crown piece, which is going to be used. Basically now what we're going to do is, first let's deal with the backpack. So you're going to leave the backpack like this, and what we're going to do now is separate the arm components, and they're going to peg in on an angle using the robot fist holes on these outer pegs. Just like that. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to use this cab section. Remember I had mentioned that this blaster piece had connector ports there? So what we're going to do is peg those into the arm sockets, and then using the holes that the casters would peg into, we're going to attach that to the top of the wings here, just like so. And this whole section now will peg into the back, just like that. And you basically have a raised back section. So yes, that does get a little heavy there. So let's try to counterbalance a little. So don't worry, I will fix that up in 1 second. The first thing we're going to do is basically return the daggers to this piece, and that will go into this hand right here. Nice ankle bends with these figures, by the way. This is your first review. So, yeah, I think I got a little more stabilized. The next thing is we're going to take the sword, and I forgot to mention that you're also going to need the daggers from the E5, the basic set. And let me push that back a little. And basically what you want to do now, the instructions show having the sword, the daggers go into the hand, the base of the sword, like that. Like they're basically fanning out. So when you would hold it up, it would be like that. A different way that I think looks a little bit better is bringing them up alongside the shaft like that. But, oh yeah, and it does fit into the hand. So that's how I would do it. So there you have that super blade. And then finally, we're going to take this very soft plastic, made of the same soft plastic as the daggers. That will go in over the face like that. And there you have Alpha X, the E5 Alpha X Super Mode. I don't know the actual name of it. I could have translated it, but yeah, very back heavy. Now, as I mentioned, there's a second version that where you actually replace the arms and legs with the add-on set from the E5, and then the red robot that was the one with the two blasters, and then you basically use the cannons. The legs from this set will become a handheld weapon, and I don't think you're using the extra you're not using this extra front piece. So you'll have this blaster pegged directly into that, but you do have the extra arms from this set would be pegged in. So yeah, that might be a little bit lighter. Oh, this guy is a little bit of a beast here. That's trying to like, ooh, clearly this is something that would require a stand. Also, maybe this little torso piece is showing its age. But then again, you figure you have an entire cab being hung off its back. So, let's see if I can get it stable enough. And then do a little pose here. Yeah, I think I'll pause it here and we'll come in for my final thoughts. Up close like this, it actually doesn't look too bad, and I do have it stable. But the Shinkalion line is very fun. I actually found myself enjoying it much more than the traditional Transformer lines we've had over the past year or so. That would be Kingdom. I think this even started when we still had Earthrise on the shelves. This is a kid-friendly line, believe it or not, at least in Japan. The crossplay is nice. I like the tight joints, usually tight joints, and all the different things you can do. Now, like I said, as of right now, this is the last kit that I think is coming. It's also one of the cheapest because it doesn't have the replacement add-on parts you would be expecting that you would get. Now, of course, you can also buy those add-on parts separate. You can buy the base units separate as well. You can have, so there is like a lot of options there. But definitely check it out. I think this is a good one to start off with because then you can buy a whole bunch of the add-on parts separate from all the other trains. I didn't get all the trains, mind you. I basically stuck with some of the main guys, Dark Shinkalion and Dr. Yellow, who hopefully, if there's enough of an interest, I'll still take a look at because I think those are kind of fun and, you know, it's worth a review. You know, I always like to bring you guys something different, and I think this is something different. Apparently now, Takara Tommy, and I've been saying Takara, but it's really Takara Tommy, they're going to a Tomika line called Joe Braver, and from what I've seen, that looks incredible. It looks really fun. They have a new uh, transformation scheme, a little bit similar to Shinkalion, but definitely it looks like it's going to be a lot more fun than what we've seen with Transformers. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I will always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you really want to make the ultimate sign of support, please consider signing up for my Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. It helps me to help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But, and I want to stress that this, especially in times like these, if you can't do the $1 a month or $12 a year, that's more than okay. Your views are more than thanks enough and really go a long way. We just celebrated over 4,000 subscribers a few months ago. And over 10 years, yeah, that doesn't sound like a lot, but seeing as how every subscriber has been earned and worked towards, I'm happy, and I hope you guys are too. So, it's your old pal Chuck for the Alpha X. We will see you next time.